Still on that, a latest survey conducted by the Global Info Analytics indicates that the nomination of Dr. Matthew Pokupempe has so far not delivered improved polling numbers in the Ashanti region, which is the stronghold of the NPP. So in the Greater Accra region, Napo appears to be unpopular as well. Additionally, only 6% of the respondents say yes or said yes when asked whether Matthew Pokupempe is the best candidate to help the NPP break the 8, which has been the popular phrase. So let's delve into the conversation with the brain behind, of course, the survey, the Executive Director for Global Info Analytics, Mr. Musa Dankwa, who's joined me in the studio. It's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Good to be here.
Good afternoon. It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
So just maybe a brief summary of the survey. Take us through why it is even necessary, first of all, for us to conduct such a survey.
Right. If you listen to the narrative of the MPP, they want to maximize the votes in Ashanti region. Mm-hmm. So getting someone like Napo, who is a grassroots person from the region, would help them galvanize the vote. The thinking is that if you're able to get the maximum vote from Ashanti region, you may be able to win the election, even if it's a difficult one. So basically, it is very important that this objective is achieved. So why did we go there? We want to see the reaction of voters in terms of the nomination, and then we'll be able to track it over a period of time to see whether the numbers are improving or where it is headed to. So basically, this is the reason why we did the Ashanti region poll. And to give us a comparative also figure for elsewhere in the country, we also did Greater Accra, some core MPP constituencies, like Ablekuma West, Ablekuma North, Ayawaso Central, Ayawaso West Wogon, Tema Central, and Lejekuku, which is NDC, to see the view or the perception of voters among these constituencies with regard to the post-nomination, so that we can have a comparative analysis of what is happening.
So well, from the survey, we have constituency sample allocation. I'm seeing Ashanti region allocations. So we have Greater Accra region as well, allocations. And the Greater Accra region, you were mentioning Ayawaso Central, West Wogon, Tema Central, Ablekuma North, Ablekuma West, and Lejekuku. They are strongholds of MPP, largely.
5 of these 6 are stronghold of MPP.
Because Lejekuku is not necessarily a stronghold.
No, because we're going to do some work there already, so we couldn't drop it.
Okay.
So we wanted to see what the numbers are. So Lejekuku will give us the perception of NDC areas about Napo, and the other areas will give us the perception of MPP people around this. So you are killing 2 birds with 1 stone, effectively.
Yeah. Okay, so what does it mean? Interpret these numbers for us.
This is the sample size we deployed in all these constituencies. As you can see, the Kuku has 778 because it's the largest constituency compared to these ones. So basically, that's what it is.
Okay, so the sample sizes for these constituencies, we had the Ashanti region.
1,300, thereabout.
For Ashanti region?
Ashanti region.
But it was distributed across the constituencies that were selected.
Yes,
okay, so we have Ofori Kroma, Sowase, Swami, Mampong, Kwadaso, Asokwa, Bantama, Ejura, Inshai, Subing, Ofenso North, Otafo, Obuasi West, and Menshia South. Why these specific constituencies?
No, we wanted a quick survey, and we have people already in these areas. So it was kind of purposeful sampling, selecting the areas which are in the Greater Kumasi metropolis, all the constituencies in that area. And we add a few more which are outside this environment to see whether the views of the center is the same as the outskirts of the Kumasi metropolitan area. Yes, so largely driven by this kind of understanding.
Okay, so well, note that also on the research graphs, we have areas of education, age group, gender, where the the questions were distributed among these sample sizes. So all that are involved. But I think what we probably want to now take a look at is this.
Yeah, this one, yes.
Right.
When we asked them whether they approve the nomination of Dapo as running mate for Baumia, overwhelmingly, yes, 75% of them said they approve of that nomination. It's quite positive. only 22% disapprove, and then 3% have no opinion. So more than 2/3 of the voters in the areas we sampled were happy with the nomination.
Is that what can be compared to maybe the previous selection? Did you do a survey on Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia?
When at the time, no,
yes,
no,
you did not.
We didn't exist
so
there.
We don't have the benefit of
what we have is the nomination of Professor Jenana Opoku in April. What did voters say about her? And that one was national. This is focused in the region.
Okay. So,
so if you look at the party lines, 89% of MPP sympathizers support or approve the nomination. Only 10% do not approve in the Ashanti region. And if you come to NDC, 25% of them approve of that nomination, 72 disapprove. Floating voters in the region is 72 approve and 22 disapprove. Among other smaller parties, 27 approve, 53 disapprove. And those who do not disclose their party affiliation to us, 59 approve and 30 disapprove. So across board, except the other parties and then the NDC, the rest of them approve that nomination.
But why would the NDC not approve? Because they think that Matthew Pokupempe's candidature is a cheap, I don't know,
that's why you have to be very careful and probably discount the views of NDC people. In some cases, you may look at it critically. It could be that they're okay, they may vote for MP because of him. In some cases, they may say, bring him on because we think he might be a liability for the MPP. So you have to be very careful when you're reading the opposite members' view about the candidates.
Okay. Can we have the next slide?
Yes. This is how the various constituencies in the region approve the nomination. I think the highest, you see, Bantama is 86% approve, and then you have Oforukrom 90%, and then you have Swami 88%. If you go to Manshia South, it's 89%. Manshia North, 83%. The lowest approval came from, I think, Sachidumasi is 49%. Then you have 54 for Asawasi, and then 56 for Inshaesu. Inshaesu is a very interesting one because it is the constituency that has more floating voters. So their views really matter if you want to see what is happening in the block of floating.
So what we see, is it dangerous? And can the same be said about, Aswasi is mostly dominated NDC.
And Ejura is a closely contested constituency, so it gives you a balanced view. But in Shaisu is where you should just look at the numbers because just little over 50% of them say they approve. That could be a warning sign for people in Shaisu and across people, the constituency, who think like in Shaisu.
So this is likely to affect the 20 December polls, either presidential or parliamentary.
What this gives you is that if the demography of anywhere else mimics in Shaisu, this could be a problem.
Okay. I expected, I'm sorry, just a quick one before this slide. I expected Menshia South, Menshia North to perform better than Oforukrom.
Yes. You know, it said a messenger is not loved by his own people sometimes. Too.
Oh. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, so.
Now here, when we ask them how likely is the nomination going to influence them to vote for the MPP in December, then the number changes to 62%. 62% saying they will be influenced by that nomination, or they are likely going to be influenced by that nomination. 21% said they are unlikely to be influenced by that nomination, while 17% are indifferent, or they are neutral about how it will influence them. Okay,
the next slide, is this a good mark, 62%?
Not bad, but you know, it could have been higher.
Could have been better.
Yes.
Okay, how likely is the nomination going to influence your vote?
This is Greater Accra.
Okay, this is Greater
Accra. What we saw was Ashanti. Now this is Greater Accra. In Greater Accra, how likely are you going to be influenced to vote for MPP because of NAPO? It is only 24% who said they would be likely to be influenced by that nomination. 67% said no, or unlikely to be influenced by that nomination, and 9% were neutral. Now, this is a big warning sign for MPP in Greater Accra, because if you look at the rating, when we ask them how favorable do you view the candidate, in Ashanti region, NAPO was plus 60%, in Greater Accra minus 11. It means in Ashanti, he will be an asset, in Greater Accra, he will be a liability.
But it's expected in Ashanti region, right? Next slide.
No, but Accra is very important for MPP as well. Remember, these constituencies are MPP areas. And if this is what they are thinking, and there's trouble.
Oh, okay. Oh, then, all right. I appreciate that now. So, how likely is the nomination going to influence you for this? Is what?
That's what we just discussed.
Greater Accra.
Okay.
Okay. So, next slide. Okay.
Now, if you look at the Ashanti region, how likely are you going to be influenced to vote for MPP? 72% of MPP voters said yes. 13% said no. 15% said they were neutral about it. When you come to NDC, 37 said yes, 52 said no, 11 said neutral. And among floating voters, it's just above 56% that said yes, they influence. 22 said no. And when it comes to those who support other parties, 20, yes is 20, 33 said no. And among those who do not disclose their party affiliation, these guys are proxy of MPP people who are not happy. Just over half of them are saying that they will vote for MPP because of NAPO. So this, even though they are not disclosed, it should have been a lot higher than 51%. 51%.
All right. Next slide, please. Okay.
In Greater Accra, look at it. Among those who are MPP, only 49 said they will vote for MPP because of NAPO. 42% said they won't vote for MPP because they are unlikely to be influenced. So this is the problem they have in Greater Accra. Among themselves, those who said yes is just barely about 7% more than those who said no.
Are these people likely to vote skirt and blouse?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you have among NDC, 3% is yes, 92% said no. Floating voters, only 9% said yes in Greater Accra, 74 are saying no. Others who vote for him, 0. 75 of those supporting smaller parties said no, they won't vote for MPP because of NAPO. Then among those who did not disclose, these are typical MPP people who are hiding their true identity. 9% said yes in Greater Accra, 70% said no in Greater Accra.
So NAPO candidature is taking away a lot?
It could cost them some numbers in Greater Accra, from what we have seen from the data.
Can we have the next slide? This is...
how likely is his nomination going to influence? This is by the constituencies in the Ashanti region.
Oh, in Ashanti region.
So I think we can go forward.
Okay.
What we need to, let's subsequently go. Okay, let's stay here a bit. In Accra, Ablikuma West, MPP stronghold, only 24% said they will be influenced to vote for NAPO. 24, Ablikuma West. No, 69%. Ablikuma North is 48-41. Ayawa Central, 22% likely, 73 unlikely. Ayawa Central. Ayawa West Wagon, 19 said likely to be influenced. Unlikely, 6-7. Tema Central, 16% likely, 73 unlikely. Lajokuku, 15% likely, and 76 unlikely. So these are not good numbers.
So let's get the blue bits.
Those who are likely,
who are
also unlikely to be influenced.
But let's be fair. They may vote MPP, but the influence will not be because of NAPO.
Absolutely. But you will see that if you look at the bigger picture, which will come out tomorrow, you will see how they are voting.
Which will come out tomorrow. Oh, yes. You are doing a...
Yeah, we are releasing the detail of these constituencies with regards to parliamentary and presidential.
Okay.
So we just tease these ones out because it's with regard to NAPO, and the announcement is imminent. That's why we tease them out from that region, from that poll, to present them here. So more will come from these areas tomorrow.
Okay. The next one, all right.
Yeah. Do you believe NAPO is the best candidate to help MPP break the 8? Yes, 60%. No, 28%. 12% have no opinion.
Okay, next one.
So let's go. I think this is the party breakdown.
The breakdown.
Let's keep on
going.
Also
breakdown in Ashanti region.
Let's go.
Okay, please. Next one.
Now, okay, these are questions about people thinking about who he is. Do you agree or disagree that NAPO is a unifier? Yes, 74%.
That he's a unifier?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. 23 said no, they disagree with that statement.
Okay.
And 3 don't have opinion. Next one. NAPO can attract floating voters. Yes, 70% from the region. No, or disagree, 25%. Don't know, 6%. They think he can attract floating voters. Let's go next.
Next one. And these are still regions in the constituencies we selected.
Yes.
Okay.
And then Napo can attract voters outside the Ashanti region. Agree, 68% agree. Disagree, 25%. And don't know is 7%. Next one. Napo nomination is just to win the Ashanti region convincingly. Yes. So that is what they are saying, that they know his nomination is just to win Ashanti region convincingly, 62%. 31% disagree. And then 7% have no opinion. And the next one. Yeah, so this is the perception that we tested to see whether people agree or disagree with it. Now, when we ask them about who they actually intend to vote for in the region, 15% said they will vote for Mahama. 73% said they will vote for DMB. 9% for Alan Chirematin, and 2% for Nana Kwame Bediako. Others 1%. So on this score, Baumia is on 73% in the Ashanti region.
Next one.
Let's go next. This is the part
breakdown.
Let's go next. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay, here in the Ashanti region, let's look at people who would you vote for by party affiliation. You can see that 1% of MPP people in the Ashanti region are voting for JM. 93% of MPP are voting for DMB. 6% are voting for Alan Chirematin, and 1% are voting for Nana Kwame Bediako. MPPs in Ashanti region. When you come to NDC, 93% of them are voting for Mahama. 5% are voting for Baumia. So Baumia has +4 advantage in Ashanti region when it comes to cross-party support.
Vote. Okay.
1% for Alan, 1% for Nana Kwame Bediako. When it comes to floating voters, Mahama gets 10%. Baumia gets 60%. Alan gets 24%. And 6% goes to Nana Kwame Bediako. Okay. So I think these are the key blocks.
Okay.
Let's go to the next one.
Okay, next one.
Now look at Greater Accra. Greater Accra.
Yeah.
MPP in Greater Accra. 11% of them are voting for Mahama. 11%. Remember, in Ashanti it's 1%.
It's 1%.
85% of them are voting for Baumia. In Kuma, Ashanti was 93%. 1% Nana Kwame Bediako, and Alan Chirematin, and 3% Nana Kwame Bediako. When it comes to NDC in Greater Accra, 97% are doing Mahama, 2% are doing Baumia, 1% Nana Kwame Bediako.
Which he did 11% here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now, when you come to floating voters in Greater Accra, where we polled, remember, most of them were MPP stronghold. 73% of floating voters in MPP stronghold are voting for Mahama. 15% are voting for Baumia in those constituencies, and 1% for Alan, 11% for Nana Kwame Bediako. And those who don't disclose the party affiliation in Greater Accra, we've said that they are mostly MP people who are disguising. Here, 65% of them are voting for Mahama, 23% for Baumia, 5% for Alan, and 7% Nana Kwame Bediako.
Right. Right. So what we're expecting from you next, the research or the post you're putting out next is...
There's one particular chart that we wanted to compare Baumia to Nanado when they were running.
Okay, if you can move, just move...
here, let's stop here.
Is it this one?
This one,
okay.
Yes. The people we spoke to that voted in 2020 elections, 84% of them said they voted for the Nanado and Baumia ticket. 15% said it was Mahama Jane ticket they voted for. And then 1% said somebody else. But in 2024 polling, 73 are saying Baumia Napo, which means that compared to Nanado and Baumia,
it was better.
They have dropped, 11%. Mahama remains 15%. Those who voted for him are still voting for him. So his numbers are steady, no movement. But the drop from Nanado Baumia has gone to Alan Chirematin and Nana Kwame Bediako. So these guys are bleeding MPP in the Ashanti region.
I think they are. That's very interesting. Right.
And when it comes to Greater Accra, it gets a bit more scarier for MPP with regards to the ticket. In 2020 is the blue, the green bar. In 2020, JM got 40% among those we spoke to.
Right.
Baumia or Nanado got 59%. Others got nothing, but barely 1%.
Right.
Today, the same people we spoke to, Mahama has gone to 56%.
Sorry. Mahama has gone to 59.
56%. Mahama, here. This is the 2020 numbers.
Okay.
Under JM.
Okay.
So he's gone up 16%.
Okay.
And Baumia and Napo have dropped from 59 to 41%.
51.
In Greater Accra. It's a swing, a huge swing. And that's the problem for MPP in Greater Accra.
Right, so that's, you know, some very detailed analysis of the polls that was released by the Global Info Analytics. And we're expecting a next one, which is on...
The general polling for the quarterly one will come out in October. But we have specific constituencies that we've just done. Those will be out tomorrow and I think Thursday. And then I think we have a plan now to monitor Ashanti region every month.
I hope you just make time to sleep a little.
I do sleep.
Right.